Good afternoon. I'm April Watts with Magic 95.9, Baltimore's best variety of R&B, and welcome to GBMC's Facebook Live. Joining me today in the studio, we have Brandon Costantino. He is the Oncology Support Services Program Manager at the Berman Cancer Institute at GBMC. How are you today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Fantastic. Well, cancer is something that impacts everyone. Either everyone has had it or knows someone that has had it, or lost the person to cancer. So you're here today to talk about the support services that are offered at GBMC, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty. What is the mission of the Oncology Support Services at GBMC?
Well, the mission of Oncology Support Services is not that different from the mission of the hospital overall, which really boils down to we want to treat everyone the way we would want our family members to be treated. Specifically with Oncology Support Services, our job is to help guide patients through some of the troubles that they can come across during treatment, before treatment, after treatment, and making sure that when someone has a problem, we can try and help them find a solution. So the way we boil it down to the easiest possible elevator speech, you got 3 floors to tell someone what we do, is we either want to be able to solve your problem, or we want to help guide you to the person who can solve your problem if it's not us.
All right. What specific type of assistance do you offer the patients?
It's a very wide variety. We start with screening programs, so people who have not been diagnosed with cancer but need prostate screenings or skin screenings or oral screenings. We help facilitate some of those for low cost for people who we try to remove barriers to keep people from getting things. Cost is a big barrier.
Good stuff.
From there, once you're diagnosed with cancer, we have social workers who provide psychosocial counseling and can help you with some very complicated issues like if you're having trouble with substance abuse, or if you're having some anxiety or depression or fear, very common for cancer patients. If you're having trouble with your spouse, or you're not sure how to talk to your children, a lot of really difficult things, and our social workers do a fantastic job with that. We have a patient navigator who helps with some of the logistical aspects. So if you're having trouble with transportation, we try to find some resources to help with that. Let's say your utility bill's falling behind, or you're having trouble with your medical bills. So we try to find solutions to these problems, because having cancer is very expensive. That's
really cool, because you're mentioning things that I didn't think about, and that I know that most people don't think about. Like, there's the whole sociological aspect, there's the psychological aspect, there's the financial there's so many components to think about. So it's really good that GBMC provides these services. Now, we have a question from a Facebook user. He says, my uncle was diagnosed with cancer. How can I get him linked with your services?
There's a lot of ways you can get linked, but the easiest way is just to, if you're at the cancer center getting treatment, just to stop by our suite. We're suite 200, and to just walk up and say, I need some help. Here's what we're having trouble with. We have an admin assistant who works at our front desk. Her name's Kristen. She's fantastic. She'll talk with people who come up, kind of get an idea of what it is they're looking for, and then make sure if it's maybe a social worker they need to speak with, she'll see if a social worker is available. If it's the navigator, she'll bring the navigator up to talk to them. If it's community outreach, or if it's our survivorship nurse, she'll get them. And just try. You can always contact the hospital. You can look at our services that we offer online if you have, looking to see at gbmc.org. So in a variety of ways. And if you can talk to your doctor, the doctor can actually make a referral through the electronic medical record to us, and then we'll go from there. So.
Good stuff. Now, I know you mentioned earlier about offering screenings at low cost for people who are challenged with insurance, but there is an FB user who is asking a more encompassing question. They said, if my insurance isn't great, will you still help me, just overall?
Oh, absolutely. So we don't bill for a single one of the services that we provide. Our cancer survivorship nurse, there's no billing, there's no charge for that. Our psychosocial counseling, we do not charge for that. In a way, it would be sort of counterintuitive if we did, because a lot of people that are coming to us for financial issues. So if we then charged, it would sort of, we're going to get you money from here, but you need to pay us for that. That just seems silly. But also, a lot of the people that come to us are people who don't have great insurance. The whole reason they're in our department seeing us is because they need that extra help. Their bills are piling up, or they can't get something covered. Their doctor's saying they need a scan, but they can't get it covered. Is there some way we can find a way to pay for it, because the full out-of-pocket cost is too high? So it actually not only will it not keep them from being seen, but it's really one of the reasons why we see people.
Good stuff. If you're just tuning in, we are speaking with Brandon Costantino. He's the Oncology Support Services Program Manager at the Berman Cancer Institute at GBMC. And we're talking just about the support services that they offer to cancer patients. Who provides the care in your department, and do they have specialized training to work with cancer patients?
So I did kind of mention some of the positions already, but we have our social workers who we have one who is an Association of Oncology social work certified social worker.
Okay.
But they, to keep a social work license, you have to have continuing education. So the education that they get on those credits is always geared towards some subject that they're either having trouble with and they want to learn more about, or that is pertinent to their everyday job. Our survivorship nurse is oncology nurse certified.
Okay.
And she is, and she's been working, she works with survivors, but she is certified, and she has a lot of oncology experience. She comes from a wealth of oncology experience. And then our navigator, I actually used to be a patient resource navigator, so there's no real official training for that. But we work every day to learn more about cancer in general, because we want to be experts in the field in which we're working, but also so that we can kind of have a better understanding of what our patients are going through, because we think that helps us meet them where they are, which is what we always want to do.
Good stuff. Now, these support services that you offer, are they unique to GBMC, or do other hospitals offer something similar?
Every hospital has some form of psychosocial assistance. I've worked at 3 hospitals now. They all have social work. GBMC is unique in that they really invest in having a full department devoted to these services. I can't speak to what all hospitals offer, but in my experience, this department is very unique in that the hospital is investing in a service that we do not bill for, that houses a wide variety of roles and that covers a large quantity of services. I hate to keep using the word services, but and what we do is so important, and it's just nice to be at a hospital that invests in supporting patients that way.
Okay, and again, this is a conversation, and it's not just taking place between Brandon and myself. You are a part of this as well, so if you have any questions, any comments, feel free to chime in at any time. It looks like we have some comments.
We do. Beth just commented, what a great service to someone going through cancer. It's challenging enough to know that you have cancer, but what a blessing to have the support and for all the other issues. So.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Beth.
Where is your office located?
We are in the 2nd floor of Physician Pavilion West at GBMC, which is adjacent to the main hospital, and we're in Suite 200.
Okay, and someone wants to know, can they meet with someone from your department while they're actually there for a cancer treatment?
Absolutely. That's actually the main way we end up meeting. So, I said we try to help people get transportation to their appointments. We're very aware of the fact that cancer patients come to the hospital a lot.
Right.
They come for scans, they come for tests, they come to see the doctor, they come for their treatments. So we really try hard to incorporate what we're doing for patients, if we need to see someone face to face, to have it be coordinated with their actual appointments at the hospital, so they don't have to pay for parking again, they don't have to pay more for gas, they don't have to come on a day when they wouldn't come otherwise. So we try to be very aware of not just what we're doing to help the patient, but what's going on with the patient as a whole, and their family, their caregivers, their friends, whomever it is that brings them or comes with them. We try to be very respectful of that time.
Okay.
So absolutely, we try to meet with people while they're there for their treatments or to see the doctor or just there for some other reason.
Good stuff. So the assistance that you provide, do you help cancer patients through every step of the process? Do you help them in the beginning, in the middle, and then after they're cured?
Yes, is the answer to your question.
Okay.
So we try to meet the patient where they are. So every patient is totally unique in that what they're going through or what their issues are will be specific to them.
Right.
You could take 2 people, same age, same sexual orientation, same race, and they're not the same person.
Exactly.
They have the same number of kids, whatever. One may be totally struggling with anxiety. One, it might be all about finances.
Everybody's journey is different.
Totally different. So to get back to your question, yes, we do all of that. We will see you when you need to be seen. If you identify by yourself, or if a doctor feels like maybe you could benefit from our services. Some people don't know exactly what it is that we do, or if it's okay to come up and approach us, because some people just are really, really polite and it gets in their own way almost.
Right.
So we want to meet you where you are and listen to what you have, and then do whatever we can in that moment. And if Some people might come and talk to us, and then they don't need us after that if we're able to resolve their problem. For some people, it's just a chronic disease. So they have chronic issues, and we see them in that way. We see them, some patients we see every time they come in for treatment just to say hi, check in how they're doing. Some patients, you know, don't want that. So we just try to make sure we give people what it is that they're actually asking for.
Wow. Someone checked in and they said, I've heard other hospitals have a cancer survivorship program. Do you have that?
Yes, ma'am. So we have a survivorship nurse who is oncology nurse certified, and we have a survivorship program.
Okay.
The program, so it's a capital S survivorship would be the program, and that is where we meet with patients who have completed treatment, and our survivorship nurse goes over with them their treatment summary. So if they've had radiation, this is the type of radiation you had, this is how many treatments you had, and if you had chemotherapy, here's the names of the drugs you had. That all comes out of their record. And then she also provides a care plan, a survivorship care plan for patients. So now that I've had all these treatments and I've gone through cancer, what does my primary care physician need to be aware of? Right. Okay. Now I'm not coming back to see the cancer doctors anymore. I come to see my oncologist. I'm going to be seeing my PCP, but how do I communicate with him what I know I need? Do I still need mammograms? Do I still need a prostate exam? So we try to make sure that that information is in an easy to read document that patients can have available to them. So in terms of a survivorship program, that's what we offer.
Alrighty. This is really interesting because I have a friend who has this issue right here. Someone said, can I still use the program even if I will be on treatment for the rest of my life? And I have a friend, Antoinette Waters. Hello, I love you. She will be taking cancer treatments for the rest of her life. Do you walk with people throughout that entire journey?
Yes, ma'am. So we consider, so as the capital S survivor was a survivorship program, lowercase s survivor is everyone who's been diagnosed with cancer who is still living with cancer.
Okay.
Right? From the second you're diagnosed, the way we define it in our department anyway, and at the cancer center, is you're a survivor at that point. You're surviving with cancer. It's the definition of the word, right? So we will see you, if you will never be off of treatments, we will see you as often as you want us to see you for the entire time. And there's no barrier to that because we don't charge for anything. And also, if you want to, let's say you're going to go on a trip, and you want to know what you need to know while you're on that trip, our survivorship nurse will help get some of that stuff together for you so that if you end up with some kind of problem and you need to search someone in, let's say you're lucky enough to go to like Turks and Caicos, right?
Exactly.
You need a hospital there. Here's some information about me. Here's what you might need to know about what's going on. So we try to, it's not something that happens often, but it is some, I mean, that specific example, but it is something that we try to be nimble enough that just because it maybe not be someone who finished treatment,
right,
we still don't want to act like that person then doesn't belong in the program. We try to do what we can.
Good stuff. So you have some important dates coming up that people need to know about.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about them.
Well, first of all, March is Social Work Appreciation Month. Bunny and Kelly, social workers and oncology support services, hi, they do a great job. We really appreciate them. We could not do what we do without them. Couldn't do what we do without any of the people in the department, but since it's their month, we're going to shout them out specifically.
We appreciate you.
And again, in terms of survivorship, we have our Cancer Survivor Celebration coming up. It's on June 10th. It's a Sunday. That is specific to cancer patients at GBMC. It's not a general public event. But for cancer patients from GBMC who are listening in or watching right now, just RSVP to the party. We'd love to have you. The more the merrier. It is a great event for us to celebrate the achievements of the patients who who have gone through so much or are still going through so much. It's a beautiful event. We're going to do a really neat speaker engagement with former patients of ours, survivors of ours, and what they've done since their cancer treatments have ended. Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be really neat.
We have a question.
We do. So if someone has questions or they're looking to get support through oncology support or want to find out about these events, how do people find out about them? Can they call the office?
Yes, you could call the office. It's 443-849-2961. You can absolutely call the office. You can go online to our gbmc.org website. If you select cancer, underneath that there's a option to select oncology support services. Unfortunately for you, you'll have to see my picture, but there's pictures of the team, and there is a little blurb about what we can offer, some information on our services. And about events, we're going to start trying to get those events up on the website. You can check it on Facebook. We try to do social media blasts about what we're up to so that people can be aware and can respond. And we tried for RSVPing to our parties. We try to have a lot of different ways to do that, either online or in person, manually.
Okay. Now you have another big event, the Legacy Chase event.
Yes,
What's
ma'am.
that all about? Because that sounds fancy.
Yes, ma'am.
I like fancy events.
Yes, ma'am. Legacy Chase is my favorite thing. So it's my favorite thing, selfishly, one, because all of the proceeds from that fund our department. It's why we're able to provide our services free of charge, because we have to get the money from somewhere.
Yeah.
And this event is a horse race out in Shawan Downs, and it is a steeplechase race, I should say. But what it really is a great event for people to come. You can buy a tent and party with your friends. But all of the money raised that day supports this program. So I cannot stress enough how important it is for everybody. Please, if you can, you pay by the carload, so you don't have to pay per person.
Okay.
So pack your car, come on down, let's have some fun. We have a survivorship tent at that event as well, so we spend some money to celebrate the survivors there. Try to have food available for them. It's really a beautiful day.
Awesome.
It's on September 29th, the last Saturday in September, which means it could be blazing hot or freezing cold.
You never know. It's September, right?
Welcome to Maryland. So, but we would love to have everyone come out. Last year was sunny. It was hot. It was beautiful. There's a great kids zone, so kids are welcome. They had pony rides. My daughters would not get out of line for the pony rides. So please come down and have a good time. It is so much fun.
Do we have any more? We have a comment.
We do have a comment from Jessie, and she just reiterated that we have fabulous social workers at GBMC.
Oh, awesome.
So thanks, Jessie.
Thanks, Jessie.
All right. Is there one last thought or one last comment you want to give to the viewers?
The last thing I want to say is, if you come to GBMC, what I want you to hear from us is we want to help you. We want to help you. That's why we come into work, and your stories inspire us. So thank you so much for this time. I really appreciate it.
The one thing that I can say about you and every person that I've interviewed from GBMC is that each of you is genuine and passionate about what you do, and that's rare. Because some people get up and they get dressed and they go to work just to get that paycheck. But I see your passion, I see your sincerity, and I love it. And I hope that I never, ever need these services. But
we hope so too.
I would feel safe in your hands. And so please, if you're watching and you have cancer, check out GBMC and their oncology support services.